Shop's Basement. Hosted by John Quennell, Danny McDevitt, Val Heffelfinger. I'm Dickie, and it's Grim After Dark.
What was that fade out? Was that fade out just for me, Dickie, or did everyone get it?
It was a fade out. Maybe it was. No, it could have been you fade out.
Could be. Anyway, welcome to Grim After Dark. Last week of our hotel edition. We are Warhammer's only late night show, and you know why. My name is John. I'm going to be here to misinform and entertain as we talk about the goings on over the last week in the world of Warhammer. Let's meet the team who make it all possible, of course, because I forgot what we were doing tonight. We have a game. We have another new game. I haven't done another eBay's Price is Right. We're saving that for the Pacific Northwest studio when we move to there. I have a bunch of just awful comments that I found online, and then a couple models I won rules from one of our hosts. But anyway, first up, it's co-host with the co-most. Residing in Anchorage, Alaska, putting the law in White Claw, our competitive champion, Danny McDevitt.
Good evening, John.
Why is it so awkward when you guys both always meet? It's like the most awkward interaction.
There's something wonderful about knowing this man extremely well, and just making it seem like we just incredibly dislike each other every time.
It's like so awkward. It's like you guys both like are passing strangers on a train terminal. Hello.
How do you
John.
do, sir?
Yeah.
It's nice
Hi.
to meet you.
Well,
Hello.
thank you, Daniel.
Hello.
The voice you also hear is the person who hasn't been introduced yet, doesn't get the format.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable professionalism in this place. He's the man behind the Iron Curtain of Canada. A world eater, not a world beater. He's currently beating himself to a pulp over having to assemble more cultists than is sensible for any one man.
It's too many.
It's Tech Priest Dickie.
It's too. Oh, hello. I'll stop picking my nose now that I'm on camera.
my-
Hello.
Oh, you're face camming today. Hand you
Wow.
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 Face
I figured we can't live in the past with the old Canadian jersey. Let's live in
You
the
got
future.
fired.
Yeah, I got let go. They downsized me.
They did a return to office for all coaches.
A
most
return
of
to
the
office.
teams.
And now I'm coach of no man. No
Now-
man's coach.
Dickie, do you get unemployment benefits for that? I mean, I assume so because Canada seems like it has a robust social services
No,
network.
here's the hitch of the giddy up. Apparently,
Mhm.
you need to be paid in order to get unemployment.
That doesn't sound right.
That doesn't sound very Canadian to me.
Yeah.
Everything I know is the team captain of next year's team captain of Team Canada owes you unemployment. And that's going to be a hashtag we're going to really push.
Also, you were a team captain and they didn't pay you. That seems a little suspect too. Like that's a lot of extra work to take on.
Danny, we do it. We do it for the love of the game, Danny. The love for the game.
I don't understand.
And the Bennies. Can't forget about the Bennies.
Yeah, well, those are really good too.
Their dental for Team Canada is real
It's
good.
really good, really
Oh.
good. Not a filling or not a cavity in the entire team. If they give Swiss scorings to cavities, Canada would be 20-0.
Oh, we would.
Against,
we
I would
be
assume,
crushing.
Team England. But that's just me.
Yeah, those guys have teeth like Swiss cheese.
Mhm. 20-0 is the amount of like holes per tooth. I don't know.
No.
Anyway, so I don't really have a comment this week because I found this and it intrigues me greatly. If you want to buy some great Warhammer hobby supplies at the lowest price while also allowing us to continue shilling them, the link below, frontlinegaming.org. I get everything from there, including some great events where now they have these wonderful
Spider-Man.
achievement dice. So when you go to their events, now at FLG events, like the upcoming Utah Cup, or I think it's called, or Utah Open, which isn't a description of the marriages, but mainly a description of the events that happen in Utah for Frontline Gaming, says achieve greatness and earn yourself dice that money can't buy, which I believe if I emailed Baron of Dice and offered him $200 for one of the paint dice, he would actually sell me one. So I think that's a little, but from what we can see, there's a little bolter dice, which I assume is based on gaming activity. There's a little paintbrush dice, which I assume is based on kind of hobby scores. Danny, Dickie, what are some other categories that they're making dice for now?
Oh, I think one dice should have a big burrito on it.
for
nice.
And what would that represent, Dickie?
basically eating well at the event.
Mhm.
I think they should have a bunch of yellow dice and a bunch of red dice.
Right.
And the first instance you're caught cheating, you're allowed to keep going without any penalty. Apart from all of your dice will be replaced by yellow dice.
Oh, kind of like a letter of shame that you have to use. For the rest
And then
of
if
the
you're
event?
caught cheating again, you won't be asked to leave, but all of your dice will be replaced with red dice.
I actually like this.
I know
I
you
think
spent
that's great.
$80 on your Baron of Dice custom Necron dice, John, but you messed up the movement phase, so I'm going to take them all away. Here's yellow
You're not
dice.
allowed to use those anymore.
No.
You
And
have
are
to
those
use these.
cheaty dice like weighted in the wrong direction, so they're always like 1s and 2s?
Yeah, and you have a separate pile for morale test dice.
Well, no, rolling high in morale is good now.
Yeah,
I know. That's why you don't want to do it,
yeah. You want
Oh,
to have
I
low
see.
dice. Yeah.
because you got appropriate punishment.
I
but
like the one with the O, like on the 6. It's
Okay.
just like a big circle, and that one's for loosest asshole.
Oh, jeez. That's
And-
that's an extracurricular event.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with in-game. That's decided the Saturday night.
No, it's just a contest that they have at all these tournaments. Actually,
right.
If you don't know about it, you're just not cool enough to have been invited.
you're obviously not in contention.
The
That's all
shadow
know about
round
it,
of
but-
LVO is not playing Warhammer.
Yeah.
It is earning this very special dice. But anyway, if you want to get yourself some achievement dice, either offer to pay Baron of Dice a ridiculous amount of money and see what it'll take for him to break, or be an amazing person at any of Frontline Gaming's events. Buy your tickets using the link below so we get money.
Interesting comment. So Joel Atkinson in the chat said, Danny and John, you may like this. I played in Champs Cup this weekend, where my team was so bad that at one point we were below the bye team. So
Wow.
we ended up second to last. So guess that's a win.
You didn't
If you aim
lose.
first, you're last. So everyone after first loses.
See,
Yeah.
at that point, you measure your success in how much fun did you have, right?
Yeah, there you go. That's
Yeah.
the real ticket, right
This is
there.
also probably a reason why you were fired as coach of Team Canada, Dickie, because the most fun you can have is by winning.
Yeah.
Too positive, Dickie.
Too positive. But that was great. Yeah, Joel, great turning out. It looks like it was a big turnout at Frontline Gaming's inaugural Champions Cup event. Their first big teams event where they tried. Sorry, Las Vegas team tournament from a couple years ago. But this one looked like it had a lot of good support. I know there was a team that went down from the Pacific Northwest here that had a great time. Nothing but good things. And those mats that they had and cards for pairings looked amazing.
They
So if
did.
they could sell those, even better.
Yeah.
Fantastic. What have I got next? Up next is going to be a whole bunch of just random slides I found that I'm quite excited about because it's been a very chuddy week.
Oh.
First up
He's blushing.
this chaplain here, illuminating the dangers of OSL on your models if you don't quite know what you're doing.
He's blushing.
Also, when you're highlighting red, use yellow. Don't use white. It'll turn it pink. But Danny, Dickie, what's this chaplain embarrassed about?
One of the Marines said "woo" to him, and he just couldn't take it.
Yeah.
Beautiful, man. Oh, I just love that little blush. I mean, the idea is this is why we'll never do OSL, because when it's done good, it looks really good. Every other time, it does not.
Yeah.
Next up,
Oh boy.
this is a question I found on Reddit. Murder Boy asks, y'all think Emps designed them with functioning milk glands, and did he ever taste the sweet custodian nectar?
Oh my.
Oh my, yeah. Guys, chance this person has never touched a woman in his life. I know I'm making a lot of assumptions that it's a boy, but I'm fairly certain.
I mean, look, if you don't want people to ask these questions, then don't add female custodians to the fluff. So I don't know what to tell you, man. Like this is the exact kind of question that you should be expecting.
This is exactly like I can imagine them having that conversation in the lore room at GWHQ. Like, we're going to add female custodians to the game. And Aaron Dembski bowed and just gets up, leans his hands down on the table, and he's like, "They're gonna ask if the Emperor drinks her breast milk." And they're like, "What the fuck, dude?" And he was like, "They're gonna ask if he
They're gonna ask.
designed her
They did.
titties."
Look, 2 days ago they did.
Yeah, the 23rd gland is added to custodians as a functioning milk gland, both male and female.
Oh.
It's just unknown.
Very
But yeah,
nutritious.
this is one reason I support not adding female custodians to the game, is because it makes people really freaking weird and disturbing. I also found, or this was sent to me by a friend Josh. This is a curated list on Steam that rates games on whether you should buy them or not, based on how woke they are. And this is a review for Space Marine 2.
Yeah.
Where the review says it is not recommended for purchase. It contains overtly pro-DEI messaging. The Ultramarines seen in game are improbably diverse. Features frontline female combatants, including an improbably female authority figure.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
So,
Yeah.
can I just break this down, John? Is that okay?
Sure, improbably, yeah.
So, number one, contains overtly pro-DEI messaging. Where?
All of the Tyranids are female and colored.
Because they have color, like, on their body. You know, they're primarily white, right? Like, I just want to put that out there. That is not a color.
It's fair. Well, lictors are clear and annoying.
Only sometimes.
It's fair. It's fair.
Ultramarines seen in-game are improbably diverse. Impossible. Ultramar, the Ultramar system has like 1,000 worlds, so like it's as diverse as you would expect. In fact, maybe even less diverse than you would expect.
Well, Danny,
so,
from the comment we pulled a couple of weeks ago, the more civilized they are, the more white they are. This is what Chuds think.
Yikes.
Yikes. Big yikes.
Features frontline female combatants, including an improbable female authority figure. So let's break that down into two separate thoughts.
Oh, boy.
Features frontline female combatants. That's been part of Warhammer 40k lore for basically ever.
Yep. Since the 80s.
Yeah, I mean, guardsmen are not limited to men. They take anyone who's willing to be a guardsman, as seen in probably the most popular part of 40k like fluff in Gaunt's Ghosts. There's plenty of female ghosts.
But if I can't sexualize my figures, are they really women?
Great question, John. Following up on that, including an improbable female authority figure, y'all have never had like a female boss, like for real, like
literally exclusively over here.
Yeah, but also like in the lore, there was female authority figures, like the World Eater main ship, the female captain. She was a badass. Like she told Angron where to go a lot of the time. So I mean,
GW with his DEI making women just own Angron. That just happened this year. That's not been an established part of the lore for decades.
Yeah, I mean,
just happened with this game.
Terrible.
Specifically,
just happened specifically with this game.
Yes.
Don't play this game if you live underground.
Yeah.
And eat humans.
Yeah.
E.g., you're a chud.
Yeah. Can I just say, man, searching for content for the show. So there's a lot of there's no need for women custodians and women space marines because there's women armies and women other armies, or you're disrespecting Sisters of Silence by adding a completely different unit to that army. All of these people sexualize Eldari so much to a disturbing level. Like disturbingly so. I'm like, please just add women everywhere to because I think at this point when they're drawing Eldari, there are no males, is kind of how it goes. But yeah, bunch of chuds. Continuing along that line. I found this comment on Insane People Facebook, which is not a usual place I find 40k content on Reddit.
Yeah,
but this one here, I'll be interested to hear your guys' take on it. It says, conservatism isn't just a necessity, it's a tool against the dark gods. Each chaos god literally embodies progressive ideals. Nurgle.
What?
Nurgle is all about embrace and acceptance. Two elements that are a part of socialism.
Okay.
Danny, how messed up mentally do you have to be to consider acceptance a negative factor? If
I'm
my
sorry.
father didn't accept me, then no one else can.
Nurgle is all about embrace. No, Nurgle is about entropy. And if you want to talk about entropy, let's talk about
I think it's
conservative, like anything. That's all that is. Like literally by definition, it's not changing.
I think
Like,
it's pronounced embrace.
Stupid.
Yeah.
I think he missed the mark. It per him.
No, it's a him. We can absolutely guarantee this is a him.
I think he missed the mark on. I mean, he's clearly angling the gods and what he believes they are in order for.
This
his
is someone
essay.
who's taken half a semester of a 100 level like rhetoric course and failed out of it. Slaanesh liberation, literally freedom from any rules and doing whatever you want to an extreme degree. That is not what Slaanesh is. We've gone over this many times.
Yeah.
Do you want to be free? Like, no, but for real, like, do you just not want to be free? Is that what people want? Like, I think that's such a dog shit message. And yeah, Slaanesh is perfection or experience.
Yeah.
Like whichever avenue you want to take there, I think is viable.
Khorne is the least progressive god, but he still embodies rebellion and revolution. Any
Like the
violent
Boston
act,
Tea Party.
even for or against order, ironically makes Khorne the most liberal god, as he doesn't care where the blood comes from.
It's true. He doesn't. He's very liberal in that sense.
Because he doesn't discriminate against people, Danny. That's I think the idea. Now to one of your favorites here. And Tzeentch, I mean, this is the god of change, for crying out loud. He grows stronger from progression. Any ambitious advancement and invention makes Tzeentch stronger. Seriously, at this point, I would call an agent of Tzeentch. I do think the Chaos...
What the fuck, dude?
Going lore-wise, I do think the Chaos Gods have whispered in Call and kind of started directing him towards things. But I think that's part of a plan. I don't think that's kind of I'm an agent. No, you're just like a little tool. Additionally, all the gods together embody chaos anarchism. That's about the only thing he's got right. The gods of chaos do all actually embody chaos. Absolute rejection of order, which is false. It represents the farthest left.
I don't think that's wrong.
It's not really the rejection of order. It's just a different kind of order.
No, it's not a different kind of order. It is literally chaos.
Really disagree.
Okay, whatever.
It represents the farthest left you can go before society collapses into itself and falls into the dark abyss of entropy. Dickie, as someone lives in the dark abyss of entropy, what's your take on this?
So the first thing that came
3
to
minutes of reading to tell that joke about Dickie.
Yeah. Thanks, buddy. So as this game gets more popular because of Space Marine 2 and whatever show happens or doesn't happen, are we going to be inundated with people like this? Is this our future?
No, this is our short-term present. As chuds like this are drowned out by new players. New players, new fans, new ideals.
Thank goodness there's a late night show for some reason to literally beat these people into submission, right, Danny?
Yeah.
No.
Again, we show you the extremes of don't be a chud. If you agree with anything that you're reading on here, just don't.
Yeah, please don't comment on any of the videos.
Please don't. Yeah, unless it's a video about Terminator Anatomy, in which case go right on ahead.
Oh, don't.
That was the best thing possible.
Yeah.
There you go. I had to mute before I coughed. Carl Benjamin here said, Cerberus on Twitter said, if Warhammer 40k was real, 99.9% of Space Marine LARPers would actually be that dude. And it's a servitor who's mopping blood off the floor. Which, Danny, fair, I think, right?
I mean, you could say this like in any, like, I wish I were in X universe.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to be the hero. You're probably going to be some dork with a broom.
But Carl here jumped to the defense saying there's nothing dishonorable about being someone who maintains civilization. His work is necessary for us not to live in a shithole. The people who quietly do important but unglamorous work are the unsung heroes of the world. We should appreciate them, not scorn them.
Yeah.
Except this guy here is just doing busy work because it's cheaper than some kind of machine that would do it. And it is just a machine that would do it.
So it's just like real life then.
That's true. That's true. He is the equivalent of your drive-through employee who's asking you for the third time to repeat yourself because you're facing away.
40K is like their worry about automation is getting turned into a servitor.
Did you guys see that? So I saw a clip of this. Yeah, I guess in Space Marine 2, there's a scene where you're walking down like a grate, and there's a Tech Marine and 2 servitors, and there looks like they're working on like a jet or a plane or a Thunderhawk or something like that. And
when you go through a lot of Thunderhawks.
When you come back, it looks like the ladder that the guy was on like tipped over, and he's laying dead, and like right beside it. It's very drastic, but I don't know. That guy was working really hard, and clearly someone punked him.
It's woke ideals like this that ruin that game.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, thinking of that,
servitor.
Yeah, we have this guy here. This guy I found in Reddit. He's called the Dad Marine.
Dad bod. Yeah.
Dad bod Marine. What's the stats on this guy, Danny?
He only has a 4-up armor stave, right?
Because
his belly's showing.
Yeah.
Right. But that crop top gives him a little bit more maneuverability too. So even though he's so obese, he also can move around a little bit.
Yeah.
He's got a -1 to be hit dodge save in combat. So he's a little bit
stealthy,
a little bit more durable, a little bit more squirrely. Plus, nobody wants to kill their dad. Well.
I guess some people do. Yeah,
that's fair. But yeah, that's your average. This is what I would be as a Space Marine person. This also was a super popular one this week. Henry Cavill himself sharing a screenshot of him playing Space Marine 2 in multiplayer, saying this game is the Mutts, which in Cockney rhyming slang, Mutts nuts means very good. Which is confusing because dog testicles not something I really associate with being really good. He says, seriously though, they've done pretty well. I couldn't complete the campaign on Angel of Death by myself, or at least I don't have the patience to complete it by myself, which I love. He says, loving the PvP, and I'm really looking forward to growing and expanding. It has real potential to be absolutely awesome. Disclaimer, I know nothing about game development, so the kind of dreams I have may be rather difficult to implement. What do you guys think of Cavill's review of Space Marine 2?
Well, was that mission hard? I don't know.
Well, the entire game is really hard on the Angel of Death level.
I haven't played. First of all, full disclosure, I haven't finished the campaign yet. I'm close, but I haven't finished it yet. And I haven't done any multiplayer, but I am excited to try all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
My favorite thing about this post, by the way, is not only confirming that he plays the game, because of course he would. Why wouldn't he? That's his brand right now. But the other one is the ashtray on top of the Horus Heresy Book 2 on the bottom right, which is a real sign of wealth, that you have a like $200 book that you just casually use to hold your ashtray. The other one would be the dog bed right in front of his monitor with the dog passed out in there. And then the third thing I really enjoyed about this was the player list on here. If you zoom in, it just says nope, where he has cropped out his gamer tag. Just
nice.
Added the word nope. Good for him, because could you imagine the amount of crazies who would go and be like,
God, yeah,
that would be unbelievable.
When are you going to be at GWHQ to save Warhammer, sir? They're adding the gays. Please keep the gays away. And this review, it came out on Facebook from a player who played Space Marine 2.
Yeah.
The review is, so after 50 plus hours in game of Space Marine 2, I would not recommend it.
Okay.
6 to 7 hours campaign visual, stunning story, mediocre PvP. Well, just a gimmick operation doing 6 maps over and over and over again. Spawn points on enemies are the same over and over and over again. You cannot take the class you want to play if somebody else have it. Save your money and wait for a 75% off sale. Danny, spending $60 on something that gives you 60 hours of playtime, waste of money?
No. How can you find a better deal of entertainment than that? Like, that's a great deal of entertainment for that price. First of all. Second of all, like, You still played it for more than 50 hours. Like, who does that? Who's wasted an entire week of work doing something that they hate, that they don't get paid for?
I think
Yeah,
this
like
Dickie, go, sorry.
Yeah, I don't like this. Let me just drop 50 hours into it. Oh, okay,
I
man.
think if there was one Facebook comment over the 3 years of doing this show that really encapsulates the Warhammer 40,000 fan base, it's this one. I hate it. I don't like it. You shouldn't do it. I have spent all of my free time doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 50 plus hours, $60, not bad. I spent half of that too, or if I more than that, with the snacks to go see Transformers 1 this weekend.
Oh.
Though that was
Right.
also very worth the money, which I was surprised about. We have this here. Now, okay. This is going to be, I don't know if controversial is the wrong word. I have opinions here. Aaron Yeager doing an amazing thing. He is trying to make a budget army to take with him to LVO. He's making a Gretchen Revolutionary Force. What I take issue with is it's called Poor Hammer. He's going to make a full tournament army for less than $20. I'm just going to put this up here real quick while we talk about that. So, Danny, have you seen the stuff he's been doing here?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of things.
Well, what's your take on it? Do you think it's false advertising is wrong because he's not selling anything? Do you think it's a little disingenuous to see it's only spending $20?
Yes. I mean, like, they're clear conversions of models. So is he saying that, like, he's printing pieces, or he's just using bits that he has?
Using bits that he has.
Yeah, that's not really $20, my guy. Like, you're just using stuff you have around the house. Like, yeah, it might already be a sunk cost, but nobody else could replicate that if they were trying to do this from scratch.
Yeah, I mean, I think the presentation of it is like an inspirational tale about how you can all do this on the cheap. Yeah, I love that story, but my guy, using thousands of dollars of bits isn't the way to do it. Like, this is his army here so far. I mean, it all looks really good, really well put together, but it is completely full of recognizable bits from dozens, if not more, like separate kits.
Is that a chariot?
Yeah. Probably.
It's a wild looking orc army, which it looks great.
Looks great.
$50
Excited
now.
to see it in person at LVO.
$20 though.
As he spent $783 so far, and half of that was on
I
the
don't know,
YouTube
buddy.
with Super Blue.
You still
So,
bought
yeah.
those bits at one point. So-
Yeah.
What about the paint?
Yeah. So that's the thing, is like, I think it's a great project. I think it's looking really nice, but like, advertising it as you're only spending $20 is a little bit. Yeah, like, putting this show together today, I didn't spend a thing. Like this headset and all this other stuff we did that years ago, so that doesn't count. But yeah, it's a beautiful army, but I don't really agree with the premise of it. We got a brand new proxy adversary assassin here, Danny. It doesn't have stealth anymore because those cheeks be clapping. But what rules does this assassin have?
First of all, John, this is the Carnage Warden running version.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What
Yeah.
other version of this is there? That's my first question.
Carnage Warden squatting.
Yeah, like,
Carnage Warden not holding command positions.
That's if they did that, John, they'd be giving the people what they want.
That's true.
John, this model can never be your warlord.
Oh no.
Oh, that's not real. They can't anyway because it's assassin. Yeah,
In this model's
got some cake, as
for
Joel
this
says.
model's reasoning, though, it's actually because it's just a woman. That's the reason it can't be your warlord. Other ones is because it's an assassin.
Great.
Hey, I'm not
Yeah.
saying it. I'm just explaining the rules for the person who
Did
designed
actually
it.
just
Thank you, John.
Yep, go ahead.
I was
Yeah.
confused.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful model.
It's really nice.
It is.
Sort of.
What's
Sort of.
not beautiful about it, Danny?
It's obviously overtly sexualized. I mean,
What?
No, what
yeah,
makes you
I don't
think
know
it's
if you know about
sexualized?
that, Dickie. Does this just look normal to you? See,
Yeah.
all right, first of all, context is important here.
Yeah.
Dickie has got is dummy thick, and so like
you can see that on Facecam now.
so I'm sure that Dickie like kind of he likes this model because it reminds him of his own dumper.
It's fair.
And so like
I'm pretty thick.
I understand where Dickie's coming from. It's just not for me. It's not for me. I prefer the real model. Maybe a little bit more.
This lady does lunges like you wouldn't believe.
A lot of squats there.
Yeah.
Her number one killing machine would be the butt.
Yeah.
Guys, we're a little ahead of schedule. That's okay.
Oh.
I've come up with a brand new game for us this week, which I'm quite excited about. I can't quite remember if I. Oh, and actually, no, we have one slide actually first here. This is my favorite one here.
No way.
Yeah, this guy here. What can I say? Games Workshop made me buy 2 3D printed Necron miniatures.
No,
Danny, how did they make him?
Well, usually, John, when someone forces you to do something, it's through coercion. So I would imagine that there was some kind of threat against this man or his family or his property
No.
from Games Workshop. Like, hey, if you don't buy these 3D printed models, we're going to kill your dog.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey,
I know
we'd
what
love
it
for
is.
you to grab these 3D printed models, and so would your daughter Susie, who goes to Oakleaf Elementary School.
Oh,
That's
no.
right, isn't
Here's a
it?
picture for going in the school.
This morning.
What cute pigtail she has.
Clearly, he had no other option because they were unpurchasable through his Games Workshop web store. That's why.
I mean, I'm guessing here, by the way,
Hmm.
that this is a Transcendence of 10. He was forced to 3D print.
Because he didn't want to buy the vault thingy.
He doesn't want to buy $300 vaults, and to buy these unique shards of a star god so he can spam them.
Oh, so he's a coward. Got it.
Everyone knows triple vault is the way to go right now, and the fact that he's not leaning into that is just really it's a gross indication of the game state right now.
Yeah, sure.
I have 2 legitimate Transcendence Satans. I have 2 of them.
Yeah.
And,
I have.
I'm proud of that.
You're
I
proud
have
of
a
that?
Transcendence Satan, but it doesn't look like just an exact scan of the Transcendence Satan from the vault. That's my claim
Probably
to
is.
fame. It's my claim to fame. But yeah, moving on. I have a brand new game that I want to play with you guys.
What were
I
the
really-
models? What were the
Oh, I
models?
didn't, dude, I'm not giving him a click for that. I'm assuming it's Transcendence Satan. But it's not like he's going to be like Necron Warriors because I lost 2 in GW.
Listen,
One
Danny,
sell them
he's only
individually.
got 10 minutes to prep for the show a week, and he can't spend time getting information for us. He's got to just move on.
I got to move on. We
Yeah.
got to. Yeah, just
Sorry,
stop.
I forgot. We got to keep the wheels
Gotta keep
churning
moving.
here. We got to.
The
This
jokes
content
only
doesn't make
last
itself,
so
you
long.
guys.
Yeah, I have to move past the bad jokes really quickly, which is why we're just about an hour every week as opposed to the originally written 3. And Dickie, thanks for sending me the chat link an hour ago that I never actually noticed until now. So
You got it, buddy.
if we haven't been calling people out, Danny, feel free to call people out for their terrible opinions.
Oh, Danny's doing a
but-
great job in there.
We have a brand new game that I'm debuting today. I'm very excited about it. Are any of you familiar with a website called change.org?
No.
No, I've never heard of that before in my life. What is it about, John?
Yeah, change.org is a place where regular people can go and create petitions and then encourage people to go and sign them to show how strongly that a fan base or how strongly that a group of people feel towards a specific thing or action or kind of other stuff. We've covered it on the show before with people asking for like ridiculous things like keep politics out of Warhammer by a guy who creates like Donald Trump miniatures and other kind of like fun things like that. But what I thought would be really fun to do is for you guys to use your years of knowledge about the terribleness of the community to tell me what people are actually asking for. So what we have up first is this guy. Bring blank to Warhammer 40K. This was started a couple years ago. We're currently at 1,348 signatures out of 1,500. For those of you listening at home, I've covered the thumbnail picture. I've covered part of what it is. But Dickie,
Mhm.
Danny, what do people want to bring, or what do 1,348 people want to bring to Warhammer 40k?
Oh, I guess I got one. I got one.
Okay,
I got
okay.
one.
I know what it
Give-
is.
Okay, I do too.
What is it?
Guess ranges.
Guess ranges.
Yep, they want to bring guess ranges back to wargaming.
I Charity Hammer, I did a little bit of gameplay with a game that had guess ranges. There was 6 of us on the one table.
Yep.
4 of us have been playing 40k for more than 2 decades, and we're able to pretty accurately pinpoint the range, regardless
Really?
of whether the thing was on the table.
Is that because you know the distance between your elbow and your forefinger?
No,
you
it's
went,
'cause I-
that thing.
Well, it's like I know the table is 44 inches wide. I know it's
Yeah.
60 inches long, 44 wide. Yeah. I
Yeah.
know like the triangle that's going to make this angle like this length and kind of a different stuff over there. I don't think it's super fun. I think it turns into guessing ranges turns into a things where you're either good at it or you get owned really hard. Danny, you got any thoughts on that for guessing ranges?
Oh, no, I thought it was be racial purity.
Oh, wow.
Well, I don't have any further comment on that one like I had on Dickie's one.
Yeah, no, Danny wins. Danny wins that.
I don't think racial purity ever wins, Dickie.
Nope,
if I'm being real honest with you.
Unfortunately, Danny gets. Are we going backwards in this game or forwards in score?
This is a joke. Please
Yeah, this is a
know that.
joke game. If you get it, any of these, I think power to you. This one was actually bring the Skaven to
Thank you.
Warhammer 40k.
Accurate in every possible way.
So there's people looking to bring the Skaven, ignoring the fact that there is a rat race called the Hrut in Warhammer 40k.
Oh.
And on this, they say, for far too long, Games Workshop has denied the Skaven race a place among the stars. It's time we band together and fight for something good, something worth fighting for. We are petitioning the Games Workshop, the makers of fine wargaming products, stop this blatant disregard of Ratman and finally include them in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. Even if it means years of waiting for them to be made into a quality plastic kit, a simple acknowledgement that they do indeed exist within the world on a level that can indeed inspire proper conversions is all we really ask. And furthermore, a set of truly in-universe rules that can be integrated into the current edition of Warhammer 40,000 so that we may unleash the hordes of modded space rats on the masses of the grimdark future. Again, there is already a race of rat people, aliens. They're called the Hrut, and they are essentially just space Skaven. Danny, Dickie, would you sign this petition?
I don't think the Hrut are necessarily space Skaven.
Yeah,
but
the closest
I
analogy.
would. Yeah, look, would I love to see Skaven in space? I mean, just take a look at the Vermine range from Mantic. I mean, that only took them like 4 Kickstarters to get that totally set up and going. And those models are fantastic. They have transports, they have vehicles. They're really cool. I think it would be a cool concept to port over. But at the same time, it's okay if there's not peanut butter and everyone's chocolate, or Age of Sigmar and everyone's 40k. I think we can have separate universes, and that's just fine.
I just won the Wood Eldari. Not Exodites. Not Exodites.
You mean Exodites?
I was going to say Exodites, right?
Literally, Wood Eldari. Just they live in one craft world. It's just nothing but trees.
Yeah,
and all of their vehicles made out of wood. Very susceptible to fire. Very susceptible to flamers. Terrible in game. Next up, remove blank from Warhammer 40k canon.
Okay, sorry.
This is a survey. It started in 2018. It is currently still open. 121 people have signed it, so it doesn't seem super popular, or maybe it's just not well advertised. It's something we would know about here at Grim After Dark. But what do we want to remove from Warhammer 40k canon?
For me, I'll go first this time.
Yep.
What would I like to remove? Laughing.
Remove laughter, or remove joy from Warhammer 40k.
Yeah, there you go. That's better. Joy.
Joy.
No joy in my toys. I just want grim.
I'm sick of this diverse inclusion of joy in my space game.
Yeah, I wonder if this person was prescient and they knew that female custodians were going to happen. So I wonder if they said remove female custodians.
So 6
back
years
in
ago,
6 years ago, they were,
and
they
that's why
just
only
knew it.
that's why only 120 people have signed it. Because at the time they're like, "What are you talking about, Steve?
There's no way
there's
they'd do
no
that."
female
Right.
custodians."
This thing's going to go gangbusters soon, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I will say it's a very unpopular army. It has removed the Space Wolves from Warhammer 40,000.
Oh, hold on. This is on change.org. I'm going to go sign this petition right
That's
now.
fair. They say remove all traces of the Space Wolves chapter of Space Marines from Warhammer 40k universe, lore games, etc. This faction is embarrassing and often considered a joke by players. The
Really?
existence of the Space Wolves is not only a mark of poor quality against the universe's overall stories, but their presence as a strongly supported faction by Games Workshop prevents the creation and support of much more deserving and entertaining factions. Space Wolves also tend to attract creepy people, furries, sexual abuse predators, and
I already
pedophiles.
signed this.
Removing this faction will go a long way towards removing unsavory members from the community. Danny, you said you already signed this one?
Wait,
I
did you
already
sign
signed
this
this,
back
dude.
in 2018?
Oh, fantastic. Though, tinfoil hat time. And now makes me believe that Space Wolf players are the ones who are primarily fighting against female custodians. So other factions have a focus of hatred to leave their one alone.
Do you really think why did they say pedophiles?
They went real hard.
They went hard. This person went 2-1 and lost against Space Wolves, losing them their
Twice,
$30
yeah.
restore credit.
Look, I'll be honest. I've never known that Space Wolves attracted pedophiles. I don't really see what the connection is there between those two things. I mean, I agree they attract degenerate people, but like, I just don't think.
War Games Live Joe is a Space Wolf lover. Like that, you can't trust that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. He has a little wolf pack with him too.
Yeah.
Terrible. And then Danny, you legitimately signed this 6 years ago.
Dude. I'd sign it again if I could. Kim is accusing me of having created this, but yeah.
Danny has better grammar than this
Yeah.
here, I will say. So I
Maybe.
don't think that
On
he
a good
did.
day. How about that?
Yeah, on a good day. But yeah, this guy got Joel, you're right. This guy got bad touched by
he
Space
got
Wolves.
bad touched real bad.
Maybe bad touched by the players as well. If you look at the second paragraph.
Oh
Who
my.
knows? Great, Dickie. Next week we gotta have that on the soundboard. Now you gotta add the decay.
Well, I was gonna say, was a Space Wolf player like P Diddy or something? Like, what's
Moving on.
Hey.
Games Workshop to transfer what?
Goddamn cards so I can buy them officially? Jesus Christ.
Oh, you mean the Pariah Nexus cards?
Yes!
That are incredibly vital to play the.
Oh, do you guys not have those?
Game? I don't have those.
Did you
We're
steal
not
them
all
from a
pulling
child?
down-
What? Like, Jesus Christ.
We're not pulling down ADA money, Danny. Come on,
Yeah,
now.
we're not all
Yeah.
lawyers.
I paid $20 for them or whatever their retail cost is.
Yeah, and what did the other guy get? Like,
Don't worry
Jail
about
time. Jail time. I went to Games Workshop headquarters to try to buy these goddamn cards, and they didn't exist there. So if they didn't exist there, there's no way they exist anywhere.
you just knock down and be like, Phil Callie, I recognize you from a couple of podcasts. Give me your cards. I know you have a set.
Oh
if
yeah,
if you don't have a set, then you'll encourage more to be made.
I'm down with bullying people. Yeah, that's.
I think this is a petition to transfer intellectual property rights to Marvel.
Oh, that would be so bad.
Look, it's 2020.
Oh my
It's
God.
the date. There may have even been a good Marvel movie then. I don't know.
Could you imagine sort of Marnus
I think you
Calgar
broke
versus
Joe.
Iron Man? Iron Man deciding to use a bolter like Robert Downey Jr. at his most
Yeah, dude.
Robert Downey Jr.
War Machine just mounts one to like the sides of his suit. He just clips it in.
Cute. I got a suit too. And then it cuts to like a 30-year-old AC/DC song that's been ruined for me now. No. All right. So Dickie, you said transfer stock so you can buy your goddamn Pariah Nexus cards.
Yeah.
Which fair, this was made in January 20th, 2020, though. So
This
you got
was
very
this
forward
was
fit thinking.
pre-boom.
Pre-boom.
Yeah.
Well, this was actually more hobby related. It's a petition for Games Workshop to transfer all Citadel
dropper
paints to
bottles.
dropper bottles.
This is a good petition, actually. I think that's probably a
This
smart move on their part.
has 17,471 signatures and is looking for 25,000 for it to continue not to persuade them to do anything at all about it. I will say I usually read out the little blurbs that they put on as why you should sign that petition. But this is the blurb that went along with this one here. They don't like them because paint gets lodged in the seam. It's not good with an airbrush, which GW doesn't care about. If you tip over, drop a bottle, it doesn't spill as much, saves paint.
Yeah.
Again, if you're telling GW the reason to go to dropper bottles is because it saves paint, you're using the wrong kind of convincing tactics.
Yes.
If you're like dropper bottles dry out quicker and you can't put the lid back on right, they're like, all right, switching over yesterday, let's go.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is. I will say, I almost exclusively now, apart from a couple of contrast colors, use Duncan Rhodes paints, which do all come in dropper bottles.
I'm on the Fnatic train, baby. I know
the Fnatic train.
Yeah, they don't support us at all. If they are listening, one of you
love
three
to.
people,
Yeah,
we would love to.
I mostly still use Games Workshop paints mostly when I do paint stuff. But I've been transitioning to like what are they? It's not monuments. It's in those big dropper bottles.
Monument Hobbies.
Monument Hobbies, huh?
Yeah,
like
that's some good paint, man.
Yeah. And Danny, you have Wave 3 at some point being sent to you, unless I can go in and switch the address soon. Apparently moving states in the middle of a Kickstarter campaign is just a terrible idea.
Weird.
As I slowly amass mail it down.
What a bad! You shouldn't have moved. You should never have moved.
Yeah. Because $200 of products is going to your address instead of mine. But yeah, I do enjoy it. But I would say I don't love the dropper bottles. If you don't screw the lid on tight enough, then the film can form the top. It can get messy. It's cool and all, but yeah, I still like the GW lids. But then again, I'm a GW truther simp who has used those paint pots for 30 years. So what do I know? Moving on. Keep Warhammer 40,000 what? It's been signed by 7 people. It is 4 years old. They're trying to get 10 people to agree. What are they trying to keep Warhammer 40,000? Danny, you've already used a white power joke so far.
Yeah, no more white power. We have a quota for white power jokes.
All right,
we are over.
Fine.
Keep Warhammer 40K Canadian. That's what I'm gonna say because I saw a funny Canadian joke in the chat that I haven't said yet. So yeah, keep it Canadian.
But
given the fact that this got 7 signatures, I'm going to say keep Warhammer 40,000 super straight.
There better not be any homoeroticism about my overly muscular band of
men being dressed by other men on my show. God damn it.
I want my game to remain straight. I want my Space Marines to have organs implanted in them by other men.
No.
Only that, though. Surgically.
Surgically.
Not for fun. It's purely about procreation, John.
Can there be a woman there? No. That makes it worse.
No way, dude.
What happens? So what happens if this gets 10 seniors? Does it go up? And it
just gets up to the next goal level.
It escalates.
This did not make it past like the first set.
Can you imagine you're the GW social intern or like social media intern, and you get this like automated email from change.org saying that someone signed a petition. Like, boss, 17,000 people want us to redo the paint into dropper bottles. And just cuts over to a guy who's just swimming in a giant pool full of money, Scrooge McDuck style. He's just like, no.
Let them eat paint.
Let them eat. Oh man.
This one here,
man.
though. Keep Warhammer 40,000 fun and simple.
Oh,
Only 7
sorry,
people
my
voted for this?
mistake, everyone.
Only
Wow.
7 people agreed with that, though. So complicated.
No,
Complicated,
they wanted it to
guess
not be fun
ranges.
still.
You
It's
name
complicated and just a
Yep.
miserable experience.
it. Yeah.
They say here,
Bring back
Warhammer
templates.
40,000 is a great game with a fantastic universe and good support and development from GW. However, the recent developments of the past few years since mid-8th edition and accelerating into 9th have seen a Byzantine explosion in rule complexity and detail. So much information and so many books are required to play the game. This person did not play 6. That the fun is being eroded. It's too hard to remember every rule all the time, too easy to miss one or make a mistake. And frankly, our backs are not forgiving us for all the books we have to lug about. This person did not play 6th edition.
Wait a minute. This guy is the simplified, not simple guy?
Maybe.
He's the guy that did this?
Maybe.
Son of a bitch.
The aim
Son
of this
of a bitch.
petition is to show GW that rule bloat and complexity is a big player concern, that we want to keep the fun in our games. Please, GW, strip back the unnecessary rules and complexities to keep our beloved game fun for all and save our backs. This is someone who can't carry 3 books.
Yeah, no, this is simplified, not simple guy.
It's
Compared
amazing.
to those 7
The nice
votes,
thing
we're
is you
big deal.
don't have to carry any books if you don't want.
No.
The app is
Yeah,
quite nice.
the app
That's true. And again, my 6th edition Tyranids, where I had, I think it said like 2 different digital data slates, an Imperial Armor book, a Tyranid book. I had a supplement book for the Leviathan supplement, a rule book, and that's like 6 books to play a 1 and 2 army. So yeah, that was.
What are you gloating?
It's because I had so many. It was very funny going up to the table and just dropping down this pile of books on an iPad and be like, okay, let me tell you what my stuff does. 'cause I
And
don't
an
wanna-
iPad. The iPad just had all the rules again in it. Just
Bro, I was trying to get an Apple sponsorship at the time, so I'm like, I need all these books in the trash.
Yeah.
Get out of here, Fall of Orpheus. You're not needed anymore. I think last up here we have Cast Blank in the upcoming Warhammer
Oh, man.
TV show. This comes from December 25th, 2023. It's been signed by 20 people looking for a goal of 25.
Yep.
Who are they looking to cast in the Warhammer TV show?
I went first last time, so it's all you did.
Lady Gaga.
Oh,
Lady Gaga as Marnus Calgar.
Perfect. Perfect.
With his famous battle cry, Hola, ratata.
His famous battle chant.
2023, October 25th, 2023.
So last October, Dickie, literally
Yeah.
about 11 months ago. What do you
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
people were talking about?
We're coming up to the 1-year anniversary of this
I
petition.
know, very soon.
So I think back then they would have probably said P. Diddy would have been one of those Salamander characters.
Dickie, this is the second P. Diddy reference you've made tonight.
Dickie, do you want to talk about P. Diddy? We can talk about
How
him.
are you taking the news? Are you okay?
Yeah.
My algorithm's going crazy with P. Diddy news. I don't know what to tell you.
I get a lot of P. Diddy memes. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that everyone is so fixated on jokes about Lou being loose in his house when it's very clear that he had many bottles. So it was very well contained.
I did read something, and I can't you can't trust anything you read, but if it's funny, it's funny. They found apparently 786 dildos in his many houses.
And 3 in him.
786?
786.
Yeah.
Think
Well,
about that for a minute.
it's rude to use the same one on different people.
Can you just clean them?
Sounds made up, like a made up number. It's like
Yeah.
6, 7,
It
8,
does-
and they just
it
took
does-
one of the numbers and put it on the end. Like
It
it's
could-
not even real. They probably didn't even find a single dildo. It's all a state setup.
Okay. I
It's
didn't
just
know that.
the police captain of that area just dumping his collection off.
It's the
at a-
crooked FBI.
786 question mark? Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it was 786.
So
That's a lot
really,
of dildos.
You'd have to have some kind of dildopolis in the house to store.
Dildopolis.
Like a room dedicated to
Yeah.
your dildos.
A temple of dildos, if you will.
You would then probably have to pay someone to come and clean that room. So just
A
imagine
dildo cleaner.
it was someone's job, not the dildos themselves, but the room. So like the carpet and the walls
So
and
the-
the glass shelving.
So the
Mark
person,
in the chat says you got to write your name on your dildo with magic markers you have it for the next freak off.
But yes, not P. Diddy. Who do they want cast in the upcoming Warhammer TV show, Danny?
Well,
It
he
already said
Gaga.
Lady Gaga, John.
Lady Gaga, that's right.
That's a good
Well,
one.
you're both wrong. It's the most detestable, awful human being that has ever existed.
That room smells
It's
no
Alex-
way.
Alex
That's the
Jones.
hero that people need, John. Look at him. He's a champion of the Imperium, just
I don't know
like
if he
you would
would be a
expect.
great. Would he be a Grey Knight?
He'd be like
No.
the demons are turning the guardsmen.
No,
gay.
he
He would
be a great
slaughter a
We have
bunch
to
of
kill.
sisters battle together. If you want to know why he's the most horrible person, HBO did a fantastic documentary about Sandy Hook and the fallout and some courtroom footage of him, and he's a detestable human being. But this person says, our fellow traveler from the 40K universe, Alex Jones, was accidentally teleported during a
Of course
fierce
he's a Grey
battle.
Knight.
Now stranded in our reality, we believe that casting him in the upcoming Warhammer TV show would be an excellent way to help him cope with his new circumstances. Alex is not just any traveler, he hails from a universe filled with epic battles and grand narratives. His unique perspective and experiences would bring authenticity to the show that no other actor could provide. Furthermore, his deep understanding of the lore and characters of Warhammer 40K make him an ideal candidate for this role. The Warhammer
he's not a
franchise is
40K fan.
dedicated fan base of millions worldwide who would appreciate seeing someone as knowledgeable as Alex bring their beloved universe to life on screen. According to Games Workshop's annual report, there are over 2 million active players in 2020. By casting Alex Jones in the Warhammer TV show, we can give our fellow traveler a sense of belonging while enriching our own viewing experiences, unique insights into his complex universe. Again, he's a piece of shit, but you know,
He's a space wolf.
there's
First of all,
chemicals in the warp that are turning the guardsmen gay.
dude, like Alex is not just any traveler. He hails from a universe filled with epic battles and grand narratives, but they forgot to put in his imagination.
He's like, you know, that orc war boss who's in the warp, who fights a massive battle and is murdered every day and he's resurrected. He's like that if that never actually happened and he just told people that he did.
Oh.
You know, hey, look, he's like he knows a lot about genocide, so he'd probably fit pretty good in there for 40K too, right?
Yeah. He also can't afford Warhammer right now. As he is
No.
billions in debt.
That is a problem.
Do you think if people gift him things that would the court would just take it away from him?
If I was one of those families, I would be camp chair outside of his house. And whenever the UPS came with the Amazon package, just taking that package away.
Just porch pirate everything that gets to him and you have like a legal writ that says you can do it.
Yeah.
It would be like the funniest thing in the world, dude. I would
I
love
need
that.
my
so
hemorrhoid
much.
cream because I am assuming that he has hemorrhoids. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Just follow him to the Rite Aid, and whenever he tries to get his prescription for Percocet, just grab it out of his hands.
Just snatch the bag right out of his
This
hand.
is mine now.
Goes to McDonald's for a burger, and you just replace it with a piece of dry white bread. I'm like, no,
No, you can't have nice things.
can't have nice things. Oh, I have one more, even
Oh.
better.
Wow, it's a surprise.
Convince Forge World there is enough interest to what?
Keep going.
I concede victory to Dickie immediately.
This petition is
It's closed.
7 years old.
Yeah.
It was April 4/20, 2017. I don't know if that's a hint for you, Danny. That's when it was started. So this was obviously a well thought out petition. It has 243 supporters, which wasn't enough to convince Forge World. Well, what are they trying to convince Forge World?
I think that you are using this to specifically slight me. So I think it says convince Forge World there's enough interest to make Warhammer Fantasy Battles.
That would be a good one, but I have moved away from slighting you for enjoying Warhammer
Oh,
Fantasy after I've spent several $100s on Warhammer Fantasy. But I was going to send you a screenshot the other day. I was looking on my little GW web store to see what I could order, and apparently it's just the cost of it all is out of stock because I can't actually buy anything at all. So that's okay.
It's
Anyway,
very popular, John. I mean,
very
that just
popular.
tells you that game is
No, I'd say they don't make enough. They just don't make enough.
well, but then it must be a lot more popular than they think it will be. I mean, in general. Do you think everything sells out? I don't think that's true.
I think what
I think
happened
when
is
you make it, yeah, sure.
they made 7 of each.
Yeah.
And like Chubby Fingers Make Foot Bretonian Lord, he sold 6. So like, well, he's still available, I guess.
He's Sir Flipper. Thank you very much. He's
it's King Charles, because King Charles has the fat fingers too.
he does have chubby fingers.
Yes, the
I
correct
have
answer
chubby
for this, which I'm surprised neither of you got, was convince Forge World there's enough interest to re-release the Tau Orca model.
There was not. It was never
Please.
popular.
Please make this flying box. Thank you.
They cost like $1,000.
And it was never popular. It had no guns.
The thing that was all right. I can understand people when they played the game Fire Warrior really liked the Orca because they did feature rather heavily in that game. Like there was a lot of orcas around. Because I think they made one like they like designed one model for it and they just wanted to use it as an asset as much as they possibly could. But Jesus Christ, come on. Like that, what? How ridiculous.
Well, they say the Tau Orca dropship model is one of the most sought after units from the Forge World Tau line. That's a very specific path to go down before they had the Supremacy suit.
The most.
But this is again 2017. I think was before the Flamer Riptide. It was before the Supremacy
White
suit.
the Art Tide.
Yeah, it was before all those, so it might have been. Unfortunately, Forge World no longer carries this model. We also can imagine that the molds are either out of date or in disrepair. The purpose of this campaign is to show Games Workshop Limited and Forge World that there is enough interest in the model to look into releasing it, especially when the upcoming 8th edition of Warhammer 40,000 coming out with its new transport roles. The Orca would be poised to make a grand comeback. One, I think he meant to say transport rolls. Not rolling of dice, but rolling in like rules of the battlefield. And then I feel there was a really good opportunity for a pun to say the Orca would be poised to make a good comeback. Because orcas murder porpoises. Yeah. Please take a moment to sign this petition stating that you are interested in bringing the Tau Orca back and may want to purchase a model for yourself. Thank you for your time.
Did this guy never? I'm going to say some pretty drastic stuff here, guys. So, Danny, plug your ears.
Hold on, I'm buckling in, Dickie.
Yep. Did this guy never look at China cast models? Or is this guy a legit need to buy legit?
I'm sorry. Hold on a minute. Are we talking about breaking the law, Dickie?
No,
I don't think that's what this podcast is about.
Specifically, if this gentleman said, "Hey, I really need an orca in my life," he could just go to China and get an orca.
Look, it's comments like that stopped us getting free stuff from GW. It had nothing to do with us not actually doing anything with the product when we got it. It was solely because
associating with Val Heffelfinger.
Or that at all. Which, by the way, GW, buddy. We'll update the title.
Oh, right. Okay, no. Clearly, you need to buy specifically from Forge Worlds.
They're the legal owners of that intellectual property, and thus the reproduction rights are theirs, and theirs alone unless they assign them over to somebody else.
And if you ever see a weird diesel-smelling orca out in the wild, you have the right to put that into an incinerator and burn it.
When you're on the lower tables in round 2 of LVO, and you see your opponent's orca, he's going to be like, "Hey man, do you mind if I smell that real quick?"
That's clearly diesel.
And then when you smell the diesel, you're like, "Hey judge, yeah, I don't think this is a legit orca.
This is a fake orca because I'm on the bottom tables, and that is my God-given right." Yeah.
Orcas are an amazing animal, and so as is rightly pointed out, Joel Atkins in the chat here, how do orcas not have weapons? Those fuckers are sinking yachts. Fair point. Fair point.
The orca just
Orcas
falls
are one
on
of the
you.
most amazing creatures in the entire world, and I would love to have a whole podcast where we just talk about them, but we don't have time for that. None of us do.
No, we're 5 minutes over now. I did not expect these petitions to take up 25 minutes of time. So good job, boys.
Yeah, we did it.
Really appreciate that.
Yep.
But yeah, the orca, the Tau unit I forgot about because the manta is even more ridiculous.
Well, the tiger shark is the thing you always see. I have a tiger shark downstairs in bits that I have yet to put together.
I've had someone show up at a tournament at a GT with the manta, which if you've never seen a manta, it's a Tau ship.
ginormous.
Yeah,
Tau ship that's about the size
Oh,
of the
man.
table. And he used it as a display board for his army. Now that's
That's cool.
if there was ever a visual of needing to tax the rich, seeing a person take a manta as a display board for the rest of his
They
Tau army
put
to
their
stand
shit on top of the manta.
I'm not even gonna I'm gonna talk some shit too because it was painted terribly. Like
What?
he took some sticks and like used them to mask it when he spray painted it twice.
Hmm.
So it
Three-color
had like
minimum,
a
too.
stick
Cringe.
pattern on it, like branches, which was I don't know. Anyway, I didn't think it looked very good.
No.
It was also I was like, you spent all this money and then like
Did
didn't
that
even make
to
it
it.
look cool.
Yeah.
Got it together,
Shame.
didn't he?
Shame.
Anyway, question marks there still because we won't actually see you next Tuesday, as I will be moving into Grim After Dark's brand new Pacific Northwest studio. I know we're all
New
going
hub.
to miss the beautiful call center headset I use for my work meetings, the amazing background lighting of the military base hotel.
I love staring directly into fluorescent
But-
lamps, John. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah, absolutely. It's why people love it. But yeah, so we will be off next week and while I get that set up and we get it good to go. But then I will be back, probably properly green screened again, at least well lit, to talk about the goings on over the next 2 weeks. Or if Danny and Dickie want to talk about something else, we can talk about something else too. Dickie, you got a team tournament coming up, so you know.
I got a team tournament this weekend. I am still painting a Chris Cultist. I'm sure they're going to get done. I'm not even worried. I'm
Just
not
hold
even
some
worried.
twigs in front of them and spray
I'm
them.
not even worried. Streaking grime.
Aren't those the people who made the Holocaust shower dioramas?
Come on, man. Let's not do this. Let's not be this, people.
That's not a no.
It's
What
a,
people? What does that mean? What do you mean, you people, Dickie? That's really messed up.
Danny, what do you have coming up in the next couple of weeks? I will be instructing movers to put things away.
I have Battlezone Ursa in 2 weeks.
Oh!
So after our local GT, I'll be
that's
bringing Dark Angels for that.
Nice.
Yeah, it's on BCP. So if you want to, I don't know why you would want to follow my progress or whatever, but you could if you wanted to.
Let's watch them go 5-0.
So I'm going to do my best. I have done pretty well with them. I'm undefeated so far with Dark Angels upon putting the orcs in the closet. So
What are you trying to say?
my rules were holding me back, Dickie. That's what I was.
Oh, no. Orky boys.
My Necrons are sitting comfortably in a box while my new Blood Angels army set is sitting on the floor being slowly assembled.
Yeah, I gotta say, you guys didn't last on the Stillmania. You didn't.
Dickie,
Really
I played
last
the exact same list for 4 months.
Yeah,
Over multiple events.
that's right.
Okay.
And after the first event, when I'm like, this is 10 too many flayed ones, I still played it for like another 20 games.
Okay. Danny, how long did you lasted? You gave up pretty quick after I.
All summer.
Oh.
From like May to July.
Yeah. It was really funny seeing both of us at the last RTT we took these lists to. Just absolutely done with it. Like by game 3 of the last list, and Danny's like, oh, well, okay, we'll try this. And I'm just like, oh, where am I going to deploy this third unit of flayed ones? Oh, out in the open? Cool. That'll work. And then it did work actually really well, and that made me fall in love with flayed ones again. It was a game where it was like, you know, the new weird corner deployments where it's like the L's?
Yeah.
Tipping point, yeah.
Tipping point. And my opponent was Astro Militarum and had nothing but tanks. And there was only 2 areas that he could get tanks out of, and he lined them all up in a column. So I just sent unit after unit to box him into his own deployment zone for 4 turns.
Wave upon wave of
Wave
killbot.
of wave.
Yeah.
Just
So like
fleshy robot.
I charged a bunch of scarabs into his like shadow sword, and then he was like, "Oh, well, I can still shoot." I'm like, "Cool, but you can't move." And then the Dorns as well. So I did fall in love with them a little bit more after that, to be fair. But I'm ready for something new. I don't want to just spam hilarious meme units. So that's why I'm going to be running 60 jump pack Blood Angels.
I was gonna say you're just gonna be running goddamn Sandguard. Oh, man.
Nope. 30 Assault Intercessors, 30 Death Company with jump packs.
JP. Oh, okay.
Do you think that? Okay,
Let's talk.
we've all seen the Blood Angels rules. Man, we're like, this is the longest goodbye ever.
Yeah, for sure.
Sanguinary Guard. Do you think they're good, Dickie?
I mean, I think they have a place.
like one
they
unit
have in
is
that
cool.
detachment, right? Like that. I think that detachament's good for them, but I haven't really read the codex from like front
that's
to
fair.
back.
I just wasn't sure. They seem cool to me. Like
They are really expensive, though.
I think
Yeah.
the thing with the Death Company, obviously the reduction in special weapons is a big deal, but also that detachment just, I don't know, man. Like when I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, you can do this awesome thing and be battle shocked, and you're just like, doesn't feel great. Like if I was a Tyranid player, I'd be like, yeah, man, this is gonna be awesome. You're gonna be battle shocked in front of me, fantastic.
I mean, they are 2 up, 4 up. They're -1 to hit in
2 wounds.
close combat. They're -1 to wound if they're led by a character. Which why wouldn't you have them led by a character?
Yeah.
They
have Uppy Downey in that detachment.
Uppy Downey.
300 points is a lot for them.
For 6, right? But it's just
I think they're great. Like offensively have good rules. Like defensively have a great profile. I just think it's hard for me to spend 300 points on 6 models.
guys.
Although I do spend 235 points on 5 Deathwing Knights, and I'll do that every day of the week.
But that's 65 points cheaper.
Yeah,
I think the game is in a really interesting spot where it's all about lethality in small packages that you can get like really cheaply, and just being able to run out and like murk something and
trade really well. Right?
Yeah, and trade really well, and like have the potential of not getting and stupid shenanigans like reactive moves and things like that to make things a lot more, I don't know, advantageous. So it's like it is set up for Blood Angels because we still don't have points, right?
Or we do.
We have
just what we know. The index points are probably wrong, right? Like, but I think it's probably a fair approximation. Like they've never changed special character points in like pre-release to codex, so all the special characters probably cost exactly what they should, and man, do they have good special characters.
They do.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the codex can be really good because it definitely has especially advance in charge now, which seems to be in that book a lot.
Every detachment has it.
So having advance in charge on jump pack Marines is really strong. So I don't know, man. I think I think it's pretty good. I think the codex as a whole is pretty good. I just don't know what detachment that you would be using.
Oh, ignore that one.
Oh, we're not doing a new game.
We're not doing that. We're gonna anyway.
All right.
Well, we might be back to talk about Blood Angels in a couple of weeks. We might not be, but who knows? But we'll be back. But anyway, for Grim After Dark, I've been John.
I've been Danny.
And I've been Dickie.
Oh, we're getting so close to making it as awkward as the start. But next time, we'll see everyone in 2 weeks.
Whether you like it or not.
It's time to step into the grim darkness where nerds gather talking Warhammer madness. Grim After Dark, the podcast with the hosts John, Danny, and Val, but they're not the most. Claiming to be experts, but it's all a facade. Talking about battles and dice rolls, they're all odd. Trying to sound cool with their Warhammer talk, but I'm here to expose. It's all just squawk. Nerds, everywhere I see talking Warhammer this, like it's a decree. But let me tell you, homie, it is all just a game. In the real world, homie, we are not the same. So put down the dice, step out of the dark. It's time to live life, nerd, make your own mark. Grim After Dark, the nerds playground. Talking Warhammer this, acting all profound. But when I listen, it's all just a bunch of noise. I love roasting nerds and their stupid ass toys. Stupid ass toys, I wanna grab them, put my hands around the neck and squeeze, Warhammer squeeze, until they can't breathe again. Tell a friend, I'm out here roasting nerds again.